Welcome to Turning It Up, a mommy-daughter team that loves people, and we thrill in finding and sharing ideas, tips, and tools for the everyday person to truly find themselves and live the extraordinary lives that they are really meant to live. I am Kiara Bowden, joined with my mother, Heather Christensen, and we are so excited to have you here with us. Please let us know who you are in the comments. We want to know our listeners, and if you haven't done it yet, please give us a thumbs up and a subscribe.
Last week, we talked about what kinds of things may prevent us from connecting to our creator or our higher power in the universe. And we hope that it was information you were able to take in stride because it was a lot, but super important. And we may be able to visit them in more detail in future videos. Please let us know if that's something that you would like.
Yeah, for sure. We also talked about the Atomic Habit book by James Clear and talked about his concept of if we improve something by 1% each day, then by the end of the year, you're 37 times better at it. So we want you to keep that in mind too as we talk about all of these things because it takes practice. It's not something that's going to come right away. But we are really excited about this week. We feel that this is one of the most important things that will help people in their journey to really understand who they are and what their purpose is here on this earth.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So many times I hear people say that they don't know why they're here and they don't know what life is about.
Yeah, I think that's why, I'm so excited to share this today. I think this is gonna be a great conversation, and I think let's just get into it.
That sounds great. Well, we're going to do this a little bit different. Well, we have done some meditation before, but I'd like to guide you through a meditation. And afterwards, there's going to be a little bit of instruction, but we'll go ahead and start that meditation. All right. So, like we've done before, go ahead and close your eyes and breathe in for a count of 5 and breathe out for a count of 5. And continue that pattern. And if that's too long for you, find a pace that's comfortable. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, focus on your heart. That space of the heart is so beautiful and pure. And picture it as the lung. And as you picture it as the lung of your body, breathing in and breathing out, smile. And think of someone that you love or someone that has loved you and you have felt that love so much. Now, as you're feeling that love and you're continuing to breathe in and breathe out, let that love permeate through your entire being from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Now, take that love and send it to those people that you love. And picture them receiving that love. Now, 10 times that amount of love and 10 times that intention, send it around the world. Be intentional about it. Send it and let every person feel that love from you because you are powerful. And as you're sitting there, breathing in and breathing out and basking in that love, start to come back to the room. But stay quiet. And now ask yourself the question, who am I? And don't judge any thoughts that come. Just let the thoughts just flow to you. Pay attention to them, observe them, and just let them come. Then, when you have a minute, you can pause this video if you want to. Write down those thoughts and impressions that you had. And if you want to, feel free to listen to the exercise again and do it or pause the video. So, what I'd like you to do, or what we'd like you to do, is do that for 3 days in a row. And then on the third day, ask another question. What am I meant to do after you do the meditation? Who am I and what am I meant to do? The answers will be there, and it may take time to get them, but they will be there. So when you ask that question, observe any thoughts, images, or ideas that come to mind and write them down. It's important to write down your thoughts. The next day, do another meditation. Ponder what you've received and written down. And when I say do another meditation, I'm meaning the heart-focused meditation. And then ask, after you've written things down, ask, is there more? And then follow the same pattern. Observe without judgment and write. And then continue to ask for more until there is no more.
I think this is a really powerful exercise. I know it helped me a lot in slowing down and taking the time to listen internally. Doing it really can be life altering. I especially love the part where you feel that love and then you send it out. That's when I can always feel it the most. I think that as beings, we're meant to be, connected. And so to share that energy and that love with people is a powerful thing. So after you perform that sequence for the number of days, what you need to do is formulate positive affirmations based on those thoughts. So when writing affirmations, you need to write them as if you are them already. I see a lot of people make the mistake of saying, I will be an inspirational leader. If you do it in future tense, it's not going to work. You need to reprogram your brain into thinking that you are that now. So you would need to say, I am an inspirational reader.
Yeah, let me just quick interject here too. Affirmations are basically our thoughts or beliefs. And so we're actually creating new beliefs by writing new affirmations. As we talked about in previous videos, remember the programming from 0 to 7? We were telling ourselves after that we're running on the program, and our program is affirming to us continually. And our thoughts are continually affirming that program. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we want to do is make new affirmations to do that. A lot of people don't believe in positive affirmations. They're like, oh, positive affirmations don't work. Or they might say it first thing in the morning and say, okay, I am a great salesman. I don't know. I am a great writer. I am a great whatever it is. They'll say that and then not do it the rest of the day and say, see, those affirmations don't work.
Yeah.
They don't work because that's another affirmation that they just told themselves.
Yeah. So like we talked about, I can't even remember what one it was. Hopefully you watched the previous videos before this, but we talked about how when you have these thoughts that you want to counter your negative thoughts, what's the most important thing is that you have an emotion attached to those positive thoughts so that those thoughts evoke love and gratitude, excitement, joy when you are saying those things to yourself. Which is why that meditation that my mom just did is so important because those things that came to you during that are things that you have really thought about and that speak to your soul.
It's your spirit or your soul speaking to you, that inner voice. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever you call it, it is there.
It is there.
Yes. So the more that we repeat the emotion with the affirmation, it's going to be more powerful. So let's take, for instance, an affirmation, a positive affirmation. In the present tense, I am a world-renowned chef. I own a Michelin 5-star restaurant and everyone loves my food. Or that would be.
Wow, I want that affirmation.
I think it'd be a whole lot of work.
It would, but at least I could make good food.
Yeah. Another one maybe, I am a great author. I write engaging children's books. My books are in high demand. So there's another one with emotion and present tense in it. Another one, I am an engaging and excellent teacher. My students are great students and they enjoy my teaching. Another one. I am a sought after artist. My work elicits powerful emotion and people desire to collect it.
I love that one because I feel like the words that you use in that are really intentional. They intentionally stimulate excitement about what you wanna be doing. Like, I am a sought after artist, and people, like, feel things because of my art. Like, I don't know what kinda artist would hate hearing that about themselves.
It's true, yeah. Maybe one that an affirmation that most people can relate to. I am an incredible and loving parent. My children adore me and love being with me.
Yes, that makes me excited. I want my kids to like me. Unless I'm using the bathroom, then they can go away. Just kidding. All right. Yeah, I think those were some great examples. So just remember with the affirmations, you always want to be in the present tense with how you write them. And like I said, be intentional with the words that you use. Use words that excite you and thrill you and make you happy and joyful. Okay, once you have formulated those affirmations, then you want to learn to start each day by focusing and connecting your heart and mind. The best way to do that is through the meditation my mom just did. You do not need to do the questions with it. It's just a meditation of having your heart open up, feeling the love and sending it out. That's really one of the fastest ways to get into your heart space, is what we call it. So when you're in that space, then you want to start saying your affirmations because now you have the feeling attached to it and it's helping to reprogram that subconscious. And you really want to visualize yourself as if you are your affirmations. So if you want to be an inspirational speaker, then you imagine yourself on the stage talking to thousands of people and eliciting that emotion from them. Exactly. The crying. "Ah, we love her. She's amazing." Yeah. Yes, exactly. So maybe do that for, 5 minutes would be a great amount of time to do that, and it's hard at first, but you'll get better at visualizing. It was really hard for me at first, but now I'm a visualizing queen.
She's a visualizing queen. So, and then throughout the day, set a reminder. Set a reminder for yourself, maybe every hour or 2 hours, to take 30 seconds, breathe in and breathe out those 5 seconds, and focus on your heart as that lung, and make sure you feel that regenerative feeling. And then read through your affirmations with that positive feeling. It's really powerful. Now, it's not for the faint of heart. You don't give up on this. You just got to keep going, because if you think about it, you've had this programming for years and years, and every day you have been affirming the programming over and over and over with your thoughts. And so this is going to take time to reprogram that mind. And of course, hypnosis helps too. The self hypnosis at night, that helps a lot too. So try to do it 7 to 10 times a day, and that will really help. And then be mindful. Like if you're going throughout the day and you have any negative or disempowering thoughts
Mhm.
that come to mind, quickly replace them with your affirmations and by connecting to your heart again. So just breathe deep. And so, it only takes me a few seconds to get in, as I'm probably 15 seconds to get into that heart space, but it gets faster and faster as you practice it. And another thing I just need to say too is those meditations that I've been doing, they were inspired by Heart Math Institute and their protocol, just so you know that where that came from. And if you want to find out more, you can go look up their website. They call it getting into coherence,
Yes.
is what it is. And they
Everything
have
has been backed by research and science. This stuff works, you guys. It
it
works.
does. You can hear one of their guys talking, and he says, I'm working with athletes all over the world, top athletes all over the world, and sometimes I get into this focus on your heart, and they're like, oh no, don't do that, it's touchy feely. And they're like, I don't care what you say, it works. Our science has proved it works, so just do it.
And once they do it, they realize it works, and all of a sudden they're better athletes because of it. But this is for us too, the everyday people. We are not professional athletes, but sometimes as a mom, I feel like I should be a professional athlete because have you ever tried changing a toddler's diaper?
or or when you need to take the dog outside downstairs and you're clear up on the top level of the 3 floors that you have, and you have to run all the way down with the baby A toddler and a baby in tow.
Yeah. The older one is usually screaming and crying because she thinks I'm leaving her, but anyways, this for the everyday person, this, like my mom said, it's a commitment. It really is. It takes a lot of work. It is hard. We both know it because we have done it. But
But
it's worth it, right?
well, and I maybe right now is a good time to talk about how it started changing us as we started doing that. I mean,
Not you.
well, when I started doing it, first, I was running on hope that I could change, that I could change my way of that I could change my way of progression, that I could actually change my environment that I had created. That was one thing that was probably a key piece of information for me, was just knowing that I wasn't a victim in my circumstance. And I think that so much we're encouraged in this society to have that victim mentality. Like, oh, it's not your fault. It's somebody has done something to you. It's true. We can be victimized by something somebody has done to us. I'm not taking importance or weight off of that, because bad things do happen.
For sure.
But what was important for me was realizing that I had power to change the way I thought about it and change how I reacted to it, and could change just with my thoughts what I brought into my life, that I had influence over my future.
Yeah, it gave you more direction, or it gave you more than just hope for a direction. It gave you the ability to know that you can intentionally direct your life.
Yeah, it gave me a tool to use. And that was so huge for me because I'm all about DIY.
We're cheapos. That's another word for DIYers. Just kidding. I love DIY too, so that's why I said that. Yeah, I have a mentor that I really looked up to, and he every time you'd ask him how he was doing, "Hey, how are you today?" He'd be like, "I'm happy." And I asked him one time why he always said that, even when he was in charge of a lot of people and a lot of things always went wrong. And so I asked him one day if he really was happy every time he said that. And he said, "Yeah, because if I let my happiness depend on the circumstances around me, then I would never be happy." And I feel like that fits along right with this because it's true. We live on planet Earth. Bad things happen all the time to us and to people around us, and it's hard to not let it affect us. And so if we can learn how to control how things affect us, or how to control ourselves
Yeah.
to respond, then you can be invincible, man. It's like super.
And we don't want to take away from the emotions that we feel when bad things happen. They're real.
Yeah,
They're really real.
we're not, like, training ourselves to become emotionless robots.
Uh,
But
so
yeah, go
and
ahead.
we still feel like it's important to have compassion for other people who are going through really rough things. But the thing that we feel important about this is that we feel like it's empowering, not only to ourselves, but to other people. And so we want to give other people the tools to be able to help themselves come out of something that's really rough. So,
Yeah, it's an important life skill to they should teach this in school. It's an important life skill to know how to deal with your emotions. I mean, that's the parenting movement nowadays too, is you don't shut down emotions. You embrace the emotion that your kids are feeling and you tell them how to work through it and give them tools to work through it. And that's exactly what we're doing here. It's just a more grown up version.
it's true. And a lot of people that we work with, they stuff emotions. And so it is just, um,
It's a recipe for disaster.
it
Don't
is.
want to stuff things inside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
All right, so I think that's a wrap for today. Next week, we have a fun surprise, so tune in. like, subscribe, comment, all the fun stuff. We want to know your experiences and what else you'd like to hear. Have a good week.
And
Oh,
yes, and next week we honestly do know what it's about and we are excited.
yes, it is not a surprise to us. It's going to be a surprise to you, though.
Right.
All right. Bye. Thanks for watching.